Okay, Wildcats, we've been expecting you. There's a lot of news today, and I'm very excited about this news. So let's get into this news.
Hi everyone, my name's Sammy.
I'm Isabel.
Talk to us about powerlifting, Izzy.
So we started powerlifting after Thanksgiving break, and every morning, Monday through Thursday, we've been hitting the weight room, lifting, getting stronger, working out, and just trying to be like the strongest we can be, So in powerlifting, the way we compete is we have 3 categories. You have your bench, your squat, and your deadlift. And so deadlift and squat are with your legs, and then bench is with your arms, if you guys didn't know. And so the main goal is you want to be the top lifter in your weight class. So depending on how much you weigh, you'll get sorted into a different category of weight classes that with people who are similar in weight than you, because it wouldn't be fair for someone who's 115 to be lifting with a 235 person. And so you basically want to be the top lifter, and so the way that we categorize our points is that you just you do your squat, and you have 3 chances to do your squat, and if you scratch, which means that you don't get the bar back up, then you're out. But you take your highest lift, so you start easy with something you can get up, and then you add like 20 pounds each, and then whatever your highest lift is that you got up, that's your new total. And so then you'll do the same thing for bench and the same thing for deadlift. And your 3 highest totals, they'll add it all together, and that's your top lift. And so depending on your weight class, there's a recommended weight that you have to lift in order to make it to regionals and qualify for state. And so depending on that, we're all trying to fight to be the strongest and get there so we can all go to regionals, because that is the goal, is to go to regionals and go to state and bring home the gold.
Okay, so when are you guys' next events?
So we actually have 2 teams, or 2 different, it's like A and B, just because there's so many lifters that we had to separate it. And so our first meet is going to be on the 12th of January, which is next Thursday. So make sure y'all come out and support. It's in Lone Oak. And then B team will go, and they'll compete on the 25th in Wills Point.
Okay, you heard it here first. Come support our lifters. On to the next story.
Hello, Wildcats. I'm Colton. I'm here today with Caleb, who's here to talk about the band. So why don't you tell us what's been happening this year lately?
Well, recently this year we've been working on the new concert music, which is a little bit more challenging than last year's. So that way we can grow the band program into something that it's supposed to be,
Right.
And I guess for me, what's been happening this recently is that last semester I made not solo and ensemble, all region, and not just all region, symphonic all region, which is the higher level of the band.
Nice.
One of only three 3A trumpets to do so.
Wow.
And solo and ensemble is basically like a individualized competition. So you are given 2 pieces of music and scales. You don't know which scales, you don't know which cuts of the music you have to play. You're supposed to go in there, you're supposed to play these specific cuts, so you have to know everything. And then, once you get out of there, you're judged, you're put into these different categories. Obviously, there's first chair through however many chairs, but then there's also symphonic and concert band. I made concert band, and not only that, I made all area. All area is where you move on from just all region, and you go, I believe this Saturday, to another individualized competition, except instead of just having to play select cuts and select scales, you have to play all the scales in all of the cuts. And if you move on from there, which last year they only took 3 trumpets, you're going to advance onto all state, which isn't a competition, but it's just a concert that the best players in the state come to.
Okay.
And that's in San Antonio, I believe. I don't know when.
So what has been your favorite part of band this year?
In all honesty, it was whenever I made symphonic all region because I wasn't really from the performance that I made. I wasn't even sure that I was going to make all region. But whenever they put me in symphonic, I was like, just that sort of deal. And so, yeah, I guess that would be my favorite part of band this year.
All right. If you see Caleb in the halls today, make sure to congratulate him for making symphonic all region. And on to our next story.
My name is Chris.
My name is Justin.
And I heard that your artwork is in vase. Can you tell me a little bit about what that is?
It's a big art project, and you submit it in February, and then they judge it for state. Luke did it last year and got way up there. So it's a big deal.
So tell me a little bit about your artwork.
I burned a tree on a tree, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just a big tree on a bigger tree.
What are you excited about?
This is the first time in 2 years that we actually get to go and show our artwork in front of judges.
That sounds good. It's been a while since that's been able to...
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for coming on, and we'll see you in the next one.
I'm Lee. I'm here with
Ethan.
And today we're going to be talking about CX debate. So why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
So CX debate, it stands for cross-examination debate. So what that is for us, it's a two-person event. So it's me and my partner Daniel, and we go in a certain order. We have an order we go in, and we're either a affirmative side or a negative side for a certain topic that we debate about. And so one of the things, what we're debating about this year is if the U.S. should support NATO in like 3 different organizations or topics within that. And so we debate either an affirmative or negative, which were assigned beforehand on that. And we have we have a main argument and then we have a counter argument we run against typically people when we're the negative. And so we do that competitively. We have a competition next Friday in Longview, I believe it is, which we'll be going with Miss Maddie with the other speech and debate events.
So can you tell me what got you interested in CX debate?
Yes, it was, so first of all, my friend wanted to do law, and one of the things, CX debate is what, in high school, one of the closest things you can kind of get to, like, getting practice for that, and so kind of being a good friend, I was trying to because you need a partner for CX debate, so that was the first reason, but also it allows me to practice speech skills and learning how to talk in front of groups, which I think will allow me to be successful in my future careers, which I plan on having outside of high school.
So what are you excited about in the future? What do you want to do?
So I'm excited about, being a senior this year. I'm kind of not coasting through, but, kind of starting that last little bit of high school and then preparing to go off to college. I'm planning on going to the University of Alabama, and really I'm planning on studying aerospace engineering and going into that field and getting to be around that and using the skills I learned in high school from speech and debate, but other organizations I've been involved in as well.
So what interests you in aerospace engineering?
Well, for me, like, flying and being around aeronautics is always something you kind of dream of as a kid, like, it was kind of mystifying when I was young and stuff, and, like, used to when I was younger, it was like, I wanted to be a pilot or all these things, and I have flown, I've been working towards getting my pilot's license, but I really want to work on, particularly in the field of, like, propulsion design, so working towards designing the engines we use to propel flight and with either rockets or jet systems, stuff like that. And that's really what excites me about that field.
Thank you for coming in and talking about CX debate, and on to the next story.
Hey everybody, I'm Cameron and I'm here with Malachi, and he's going to be telling us about the Wildcat Radio. Yeah, so now we've got our own radio here in the theater room, where it's an online radio, right? So you're not listening to on your car radio, but you can either go to the website or go to an app on your phone to listen to it 24/7. We've also got our radio podcast, which is actually on Spotify now. We have 18 local businesses that have actually signed up to do advertisements and help us out with that. So if you're a local business that is looking to advertise on the Wildcat Radio, just give us an email at give Mr. Lance an email at lancej@rainsisd.org. We'll have that in the description as well. We already have a couple episodes out on the podcast right now. We have first episode, English Department, the second episode with Mr. Curry, and the third episode is about our D&D podcast. So if you want to go listen to any of those, you just head to Spotify, look up WLN Radio. That is WLN Radio. In the future, we're going to actually be having the live baseball, volleyball, basketball games on our radio, so you can always tune in if you can't make it, right? We'll have school updates, and if you want to find any of this stuff, you're not too sure on how to get there, we're gonna have all like the links, all the ways to get to listen to our radio station on our podcast on Spotify in the description.
Awesome. I'm super excited. I bet everybody else is too. Everybody make sure to give this podcast and this radio a listen, and we'll throw it on to the next one.
Hey Wildcats, I'm AJ and I'm here with Coy today, and he's going to tell us about his Vegas trip over the little break. So I do know that this was not planned in a way, so could you tell us?
Okay, so our original plan was we were all taking a trip to Seattle, but the moment we landed in Vegas, we all got emails on our phones saying that the flight was canceled, and we were pretty much stranded in Vegas. So we quickly we hurried to our original gate, which was where our flight would have been, to just ask the clerk that was there. And he just told us, get our bags first, and then we go to the help desk. So we had, so there was a point, first we all waited at the baggage claim for a little bit and to decide what we needed to do. And we sort of each split up to do our thing. And Tanner went ahead to go to the line, which is where like, there's so many people there because pretty much everyone's flights got canceled. So he was there for 2 hours, and then we met up with him to discuss our options, and they weren't great options. They wouldn't even offer us a hotel, and the next flight was the 30th, which that's way too late. We wouldn't be able to spend much time in Seattle if that were the case. But we were still stuck because the closest flight or the best flight in terms of price would be on the 29th, and we were stuck there for 3 or 4 days. So after we got all that sorted out, we met up at the Seattle, or no, not, I wish, the Vegas drop point, basically where all the hotel vans come in, and we got our stuff. We went to our hotel, and then that entire day, that was just our day to recuperate. And the next day, we celebrated Lauren's birthday. So we went to the Boulevard Mall. There's a really cool sort of aquarium zoo place in the mall. It was called Sequest, and basically it was a sort of interactive aquarium where you could pay tokens to like play with the various animals. They had lorikeets, they had otters. There was a lot of koi fish. I had fun with those, obviously.
I can imagine why.
Yeah, it was a really fun day. I think that day was one of the best ones, and we pretty much did what we could, and I was pretty satisfied with that. And the next day, there was a lot to do that day. We had 2 people who were very excited about Pawn Stars, so they went like the morning. I wasn't even awake, so like I woke up and it was like, oh, they're gone, Pawn Stars. And then since they were there, we went to the Strip. And first we got drinks at a Starbucks at the really fancy looking mall up at the Strip. And we walked all the way to the Bellagio. Yeah, we went to the Bellagio, and they had this seasonal garden that changes every season. So since it was Christmas time, they had these Christmas decorations all made in like flowers, a lot of floral decoration. They had these polar bears made entirely out of flowers. And it was really pretty. So once we got finished there, we took an Uber to Area 15. It's very famous. I'm sure you guys have seen it on some form of social media. It's this super cool kind of arts gala. I mean, I would say it's sort of an art gala, but there's all these various places that you can go. There's this, probably the most popular, the Omega Mart. It's like this cool supermarket that's like all abstract and messed up, and there's like secret doorways and stuff, and like really ridiculous merchandise. There's like an avocado with a zipper in it, and it's like a bag. And I think that's when, after we finished up at that place, I went back to the hotel because I was tired, so I just went back to sleep. Later that night, we had the rest of our people. They went on a tour. They went on a tour bus going through the whole Strip, and they got to see various places. I heard it was a really cool tour. They got to take a limo home, which one of our people was very excited about that. Could not stop thinking about it. And next day, that was our flight home, and we got up early, checked out of the hotel, waited like 5 hours for our flight, and that's that. We were home.
I will say this: that is the most odd trip I've ever heard of. I will say that. That is very movie script worthy.
It was like Home Alone.
Yeah.
We got stuck at the wrong location.
That sounds like a John Hughes film.
Trump didn't tell us where the elevator was, so that was a con. But
Dang, that was a letdown.
we did see Trump Tower. It was there. It was like the Trump Hotel, which it was fun to see.
The Trump's hell. Anyway, well, thank you for coming down and giving us that story. On to the next one.
Thank you, Wildcats, for watching the video today. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you're notified on all the latest videos.